What bad habit ruins your mental health? Case 1. Obsessing over past mistakes and regrets, constantly thinking about what could have been. I was a happy, positive guy in my early 20s. Now I understand why some people become stoic and grumpy with age. Case 2. Staying up late on my phone, regularly sleeping 6 hours or less. It's easy to do and makes you feel dissatisfied and generally awful without any serious or obvious reason to blame. Case 3. This will sound extremely narcissistic, sorry, but I can't think of another way to say it. What stresses me out mentally is the sheer number of idiots I have to deal with. Not everyone is smart or uses critical thinking daily, and that stresses me out a lot. Especially when you try to show them a different, objectively better way, and you're met with resistance and insults. Case 4. Watching adult videos. It gives you the dopamine hit of intimacy without the connection, slowly making you less social because you can get that fix easily without the hassle of a partner. It isolates you, sets unrealistic expectations for your partner, normalizes things that aren't normal, causes impotence in healthy men because real women can't match actresses, among many other bad effects. Case 5. Procrastination. There's no later, no way out. Just a pit of things you haven't done that you know would take little energy or time, but you didn't do them. What would have taken an hour is now buried under 10 hours of other undone tasks. It's a lonely place and it's hard to ask for help. Case 6. The constant mental strain of working so hard for so many things and achieving none of them. A healthy relationship, a good job, no matter the conditions I create, I'm still alone and purposeless. I'm a young, funny, decent-looking guy with career goals, and I still can't find money or companionship. At least it felt good to vent about it. Thanks. Case 7. Not acknowledging or admitting your feelings. It's true, or when I do recognize my feelings, I intellectualize them and feel so disconnected from my emotions. It's like I'm me and my emotions are something else entirely. Case 8. Depriving yourself of fresh food makes you feel jittery and anxious within hours. The longer you go without, the worse it gets. It's your instincts. You can blame external distractions, but seriously, forget them. Just eat well and you'll feel better in hours. When your gut bacteria are nourished, they produce serotonin, the feel-good chemical. About 90% of our serotonin is made by gut microbes. Eat fresh food to restore your balance. Case 9. The fact that people in power don't care about improving our lives, focusing instead on trivial issues, attacking undeserving groups, and just helping themselves and their rich friends. It's mind-blowing that I, a lower middle-class guy with a probably average IQ, can come up with ideas to help people, but those with real power to make change do absolutely nothing. Case 10. Something mundane, not putting things back where they belong after using them. For me, clutter is a huge drag on my mental health, and trying to remember where I left something is maddening. Those small choices, like leaving dishes for later or putting something on the table instead of back in the drawer, pile up fast. My mind feels as cluttered as my house. Case 11. Living in this weird timeline. If a TV show 10 years ago had depicted this as our future, it would have only worked as a comedy because no one would have found it realistic. Case 12. Avoiding conflict. For a long time, I thought I was doing others a favor by being nice and keeping the peace. I believed avoiding conflict reduced harm to those around me. Now I'm almost 40 and have panic attacks when I ask my team to actually do their jobs instead of me doing everything for them. Case 13. Self-deprecating jokes really erode your confidence without you noticing. They don't just harm your mental health, they're not as funny as you think when you tell them. Most importantly, they definitely give you a negative self-image. Case 14. Isolation probably. For an introvert, it feels great at first, like freedom, but humans are social creatures, even those who don't want to be. Your social skills decay over time, so being around people becomes even more awkward, and you want to retreat to your hideout faster. Over the years, you get weirder, and your brain starts branching into other functional issues. Eventually, something gives. Case 15. Neglecting sleep is a surefire way to harm your mental health. Chronic sleep deprivation increases anxiety, mood swings, and can worsen existing mental health issues. Prioritizing good sleep hygiene, consistent sleep schedules, a relaxing bedtime routine, limiting screen time before bed, is crucial. Your brain will thank you. Case 16. Keeping a constant tally of everything bad in your life but not doing the same for the good wears down your mind and brain if you only focus on the negative. I took a course where we had to write down positive experiences daily for a week, and it was eye-opening. I'm a very negative person, and I felt better each day because, for once, I clung to the good in my waking hours. Case 17. Video games used to be my escape, but now they're part of the problem. I got obsessed with ranking up. If I lose, my day's ruined. I get angry, frustrated, feel like a failure. It's not the game itself, it's how I use it. I'm projecting my self-worth onto a ranking system. If I don't hit platinum, I feel worthless. I quit for weeks but always come back each time with more anxiety. It's absurd, I know, but I can't help it. It even hurts physically, headaches, tension, insomnia. My friends don't get why it affects me so much, but yeah, a poorly managed video game can wreck your mental health, especially when it's your only source of self-esteem. I don't know how to break the cycle without feeling like I've lost everything. Case 18. Envying others or even just thinking about what others think of you. The happiest person I know is my aunt, loud, blunt, and doesn't care one bit what people think of her. Her sister, my other aunt, is the most miserable person I know by far. She's obsessed with what people think, spending hours awake replaying every call, text, or interaction, trying to decode what people really meant or think of her. At the very least, it taught me the importance of letting things go and getting enough sleep. Case 19. Social media. I sat in the bathroom earlier and forgot my phone. I stared at the back of the door and remembered simpler times. I didn't feel overwhelmed. I wasn't cramming more junk into my already full head. I just looked around, read a shampoo bottle, and felt 20 years younger. Do I really need to start leaving my phone behind on purpose? Case 20. Venting to others. It feels valid in the moment, but then I feel guilty, worrying if the person I vented to will find me annoying, misinterpret what I said, or lose trust in me later. Making sure I trust who I'm venting to is part of it, but venting in general can make my brain fixate on negativity. As an external processor, I've been trying to vent into a private voice note or journal entry and move on, without needing someone to respond or validate me. Case 21. Overthinking and creating false scenarios in my head. I just can't stop. I think many of us learned this growing up in homes without consistent rules or expectations, so we had to prepare for every possible reaction from our parents. Learning early that the truth would get you in trouble, so lying became as natural as breathing. Learning the mood swing patterns of emotionally immature parents. Picking up the subtlest signs something's about to go wrong, like the dread when a parent sighs a certain way or folds clothes aggressively, something most people can't even fathom. When they load the dishwasher with rage, you know you need to get out for an hour before it's too late. Case 22. Drinking regularly for no particular reason. Sometimes I fall into this habit, buying a box of wine or a six-pack on my way home just because it looks good. It inevitably spirals. I drink one night, feel awful the next day, have a drink because I feel awful and it sounds nice, feel worse the day after, and so on. It's so easy to slip into, and it scares me. Case 23. Falling in love. I don't know about others, but it eats me up inside, always thinking about him, worrying about him, scared of losing him, getting jealous over nothing, expecting too much. It's overwhelming. From what I've seen, most people don't have this issue because they're either cheaters or just leave people like it's nothing. As they say, love is a pain. Case 24. Uncertainty. Not knowing if I'll make rent tomorrow, if a surprise expense will wipe out my savings, or if the world will break even more. That anxiety of living in fear of the future is ruining my mental health. It's not one event, it's the constant sum of potential catastrophes. You go to the grocery store and it costs more than last week. An unexpected bill hits, you feel pain but hesitate to see a doctor because you can't afford it. Living like this leaves no room for anything else. You don't plan, you don't dream, you just survive. That, though it's invisible, chips away at your peace day by day. Nobody prepares you for this quiet anguish, but so many of us carry it like it's normal. It shouldn't be. Case 25. Not setting or maintaining boundaries. I never had boundaries in any of my relationships. It became a habit. I'm so lucky to have met a friend who helped me realize my lifelong friendships weren't healthy because I didn't set limits. They never took no for an answer, and if they did, they'd get mad. I prioritized their needs, cried after every call, felt bad about myself. I always thought they were right and I was wrong. They never listened to my advice about their business, and guess what? Their business failed. After realizing this, I told them I didn't want our friendships to continue and ended it. I left the group and other social media groups they were in, deleted their numbers, and that was it. It was terrible for my mental health. I was depressed, self-critical, stressed. Now, despite still dealing with other things, I'm 100% happier. I'd rather be alone than with people like that. Part of it's my fault for not having boundaries. Now I know I can have better relationships, romantic or not, in the future. A therapist once had me write a list of everything I wanted in an ideal partner. I did, and she asked, "How many of those things do you do or have?" I realized how little I care for or show myself love in ways that aren't always easy but are vital for a happy, sustainable life. Case 26. An inconsistent sleep schedule, poor time management, constantly responding to texts and emails, giving in to anxiety, drinking too much, not eating enough, or even keeping food in my fridge. I'm vain, so I stay in shape, count calories, care for my skin, but it's all for appearances. I'm not truly happy, and I feel like once I hit 40, all these unhealthy behaviors I try to hide will start showing. Loving yourself isn't just a feeling, it's an action. Case 27. The need to do everything perfectly or else I'm a failure. I'm my worst critic. If I'm not productive, I feel guilty. If I mess up something small, I punish myself. No matter how many good things I do, my brain focuses on what went wrong, and it's not external pressure. It's internal, learned. I was raised believing mistakes weren't part of the process but a flaw. Over time, that became a prison. I struggle to enjoy things now. Even when I rest, I think I should be doing something useful. I live with this constant weight, and though I seem calm on the outside, there's a storm of demands inside. Everything I do, I question, and it's exhausting. It's breaking me internally because it's never enough, because I'm never enough no matter how hard I try. Case 28. With texting, WhatsApp, and all the messaging features built into social media, it feels like people have instant, constant access to us at all times. I don't think we're meant to be that available. It's overwhelming and, over time, erodes our boundaries, our ability to disconnect, and even our peace of mind. There's so little space left to just exist in silence without interruptions, and we all need that quiet more than we realize. Case 29. Trying so hard to please my cats that I'm losing my mind. I've bought all kinds of toys, towers, fancy food, environmental enrichment. They still meow all day, seem bored, and won't eat anything they don't like. I feel guilty, frustrated, exhausted. I thought pets would bring companionship, but I'm in a constant cycle of anxiety. It frustrates me that I can't satisfy them, but it also frustrates me that I'm so affected by something that shouldn't dominate my life. I'm questioning if I'm the right person to have cats. I don't mistreat them, I care for them a lot, but my mental health is deteriorating because nothing I do feels enough. It makes me feel like a failure deep down. It's ridiculous, I know, but the pressure to be a good pet owner is breaking me inside and nobody notices. Case 30. Knowing I did everything right and still being worse off financially than 10 years ago. My partner and I work without missing a day, we deliver, we studied, avoided debt, played by the rules. But today we're poorer than ever. Rent keeps rising, food keeps rising, healthcare is unaffordable. Seeing that day after day, knowing you gave your all and it didn't matter, that breaks you. I feel guilty for no reason, like I failed at something. But I didn't fail, the system failed us. Sometimes it's not depression, just exhaustion from living in a world where effort guarantees nothing. I want to enjoy my life, but everything's designed for surviving, not living. That, though you don't notice it right away, wears down your mind until there's no room left to dream. Case 31. Buying a house thinking it was a step forward, but it's been a nightmare from month one. Noises, leaks, heating system issues, animals in the attic. Every week something new goes wrong. I started losing sleep, feeling anxious just thinking about coming home. Every little noise triggers an alert in my head. It's not just a house anymore, it's a daily source of worry. I feel overwhelmed, without peace, always waiting for the next disaster. I thought I'd build a life there, but all I'm building is anxiety. The saddest part? When I tell people, they say, "That's normal, that's homeownership." No, it shouldn't feel like living in an emotional minefield. It's not worth it when your mental health drains with every bill, every repair, every day without calm. Case 32. Feeling completely hopeless and far behind in life. I've never found my balance, and socially I feel like I'm watching from the outside. I have too much anxiety to eat and struggle with self-hatred that torments me. I'll never own a home because I'll be in debt forever for medical bills. I'm terrified of another seizure episode and the horror that takes over my mind just before it starts. I don't sleep well anymore because of nightmares. I feel like the love of my life is slipping through my fingers, leaving a deep, aching pain that pierces my soul. The funny thing? Most people think I have my life together and am happy. But it's just a facade. I'm a joke, and all I can do is laugh at myself,